What? Yes. Indeed we are.
What was that? What was that entire thing you just did?
I am excited that we are back. Okay, I've been waiting to do another episode of the Phone Booth all week. I missed you guys. I missed the audience. And I'm just glad to be here.
You act like we don't hang out in the week.
We did.
Definitely did this week.
We definitely did this week. Okay, we can't go into full details. Okay, but I kind of sort of got lost for like 5 minutes. You know, like one street over from the mile. It was a whole ordeal. But
I have blackmail material. It's all good.
Yeah. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another amazing episode of the Phone Booth here on TVOSJ, the voice of San Joaquin. My name is Ed Heitman. Joining me in the studio, as always, are my good friends and co-hosts Brian Rodriguez.
Hello.
And Parker Spurlin.
There's the foot.
Good
there
evening.
You are.
You're kind of on screen. You might need it. Okay. There.
Good evening.
There you go. There you go. That's good.
I was gonna pull you in if I needed to.
Oh, well, for doing that. And by the way, Brian, when I was over there, I was hearing your conversation about, our night out, and all I can say is you can never blackmail me. There's nothing you can say that would blackmail me.
Honestly, you can't really blackmail me either, because I'm just too dead honest about what happens.
So.
Anyways.
Good evening.
Back to our program. In case you are a first-time viewer or listener, the Phone Booth is a show completely dedicated to the world of pop culture. Anything from movies to video games to TV shows to comic books.
You name it.
And we do our very best to cover
We
it.
got it. Why did you print this out in red?
I didn't know the paper was red, okay? I don't control the paper that is in the printer.
This happens to us every so often. We're not the ones to really check the paper in the printer, so every so often we get our pages in different colors. And we didn't really realize that Parker can't necessarily see red.
This one's eyes are broken.
This is, it's just hard.
You can kind of see it.
I can make it out.
Yeah, but it's brown to you. It's black on brown to you.
So due to that, you don't gotta worry, bro. We'll handle the topics, okay?
Will be your eyes.
Thank you.
We just need your loose cannon antics.
Loose cannons of looseness. That would be. We actually know what. It's a great band name. If anyone wants to take it, I'm free for it. But royalties. And so.
Oh yeah. Anyways,
the sleeves are up. And the time is right, so let's hop dippity-dop into this and bebop rocksteady this one.
Indeed.
Right?
Now,
I kind of have the bebop and rocksteady haircut going on.
Anyways, there was a particular gaming awards ceremony thing that happened this week.
Called the Game Awards.
Yeah. If you're not too familiar with it, I don't necessarily blame you. The Game Awards isn't really as publicized as, like, say, E3 or anything, but in my opinion, it's just as important.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of ads, one after another, and occasionally they throw a game, some award in the middle of those. So it's the ads.
Yeah, it should be the game quote-unquote awards.
Yes, it's the ads, it's the announcements, and we have plenty of those announcements here.
It's like a secondary E3.
Because I couldn't care less about the awards. It's a bunch of game industry people giving awards to other game industry people.
They gave Fallout 4 Game of the Year.
They did.
They did what?
They gave Fallout 4 the Game of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Where you had about 3 options to
in fairness, though, Fallout 4 at least is not 76.
Oh, that
true.
That has more bugs than my mattress, and so
that's disturbing.
Anyways, we got some major announcements. Brian, let's start off with
the biggest.
Lord Chungus of it.
The secret project that Xbox has been working on for so long has finally been given a name.
Project Scarlet is now officially known as the Xbox Series X, not to be confused with the Xbox One X, which is not to be confused with the Xbox One S,
which is not to be confused with the 360.
Which is also not to be confused with the Xbox One X Elite.
Yes.
I do have. That's a very powerful,
I always kind of figured it was.
It's Lord of the frames per second.
Yes, if only there was some way to sequentially number these consoles to make it less confusing, but no company would ever be insane enough to just name their consoles 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever comes after 4.
Well, what about PlayStation?
Yeah.
Stations that play.
In case you guys weren't aware, PlayStation recently announced that the fifth PlayStation has been officially titled the PlayStation 5.
I don't know anything about this because I have a Sega Dreamcast, so...
Well, that's your own fault. But back to the Series
Gosh, dude,
X.
I'm like sitting here with a ColecoVision.
Which I'm going to call the Xbox Series from now on because that makes it less confusing for me.
Can we call it Siri?
No.
It will support 4K 60 frames per second with a possibility of 120 frames per second. It will have an internal SSD, which Microsoft claims will virtually eliminate loading times. And Destiny's sitting over here saying, hold my beer. And it will be backwards compatible with all past Xbox games. I repeat, all of them, including the original. And all Xbox One accessories.
They have learned their lesson right.
Yes.
This seems to be a much better improvement.
Remember when the
Xbox One had first came out?
DRM, we got to make sure that it's only online, and you can only play these games if you have an internet connection.
Also, they put a special emphasis on the box part this time because this thing looks like a wine box. It looks like a box you get a bottle of wine in. It's just this tall, rectangular thing. And I know
I don't know. Maybe you're not a connoisseur of the box wine, are you?
Well, I don't mean box wine. I mean that some wine bottles come in boxes.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I do realize that was confusing.
I thought you were talking about, like, $2 check box wine.
No.
But it does look like that, too.
A little bit.
Yeah.
It's less rectangular.
It looks like my Wi-Fi tower.
It does.
It looks like my Wi-Fi tower. Like, it's kind of like...
I remember you sending like a picture of what the new Xbox looked like, and it looked like the base of a table, basically.
Yeah, some people have been putting pictures of them, putting it as the base of a table and putting their PS5 on top of that table.
It's like... It reminds me of, like... It's funny because, like, the Xbox One is a huge piece of hardware.
Yeah. Joshua Hacker just commented saying that it's a refrigerator.
It does look like a refrigerator.
You can... Except it doesn't hold all the delicious, delectable treats. That is the Reese's Peanut... Send me Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. All my fans out there, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups...
Don't send him more sugar.
Reese's Peanut Butter Cups are what are the gateway to my heart.
He clearly already has too much sugar in him.
Do I?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I remember that we were all talking about the whole Xbox, the new Xbox project in the works, because we do have a group chat when we're not here on the air.
It's true. We are all good friends, aren't we?
And I remember when they were talking about what the Xbox Scarlet's name was going to be, how it's supposed to be significant in some way.
And it was supposed to indicate the purpose of the device.
So its purpose seems to be it is part of an Xbox series.
Yes, there is rumors that the previously canceled digital-only version of it has been revived, and it will be like the Xbox Series S, for Slim or.
You know what rhymes with Scarlet? Harlot.
That actually was the word I was thinking of too.
Me too. I don't see how it ties in here, but anyway.
Well, all right. Let's take a minute. Harlot.
What we're doing now?
Harley Quinn. Quincy Jones.
Kelly Cuoco.
Kelly Wugo. So now what we have is I sense a conspiracy here. It's a conspiracy of a lifetime.
You connected Harley Quinn with the Xbox Series S.
It reminds me. Honestly, I'm not even kidding about that. Well, I am, but not really.
Okay.
It reminds me. I came up with a conspiracy that involved all, and I do mean all, of the fast food mascots. I'm talking, at the center of it was Ronald Reagan, and then it goes off to Ronald McDonald. But then we have the Burger King guy, the Little Caesars guy. They're all connected. All right? This is a conspiracy.
This makes me think of that Asperger's episode of South Park, where it had all the fast food mascots in this big table, like a League of Villains or something.
Anyway, getting way back to the point.
Way back to it. We talked about the console. Let's talk about what's been announced to be on the series.
Because you have to have games to play on it.
Yes, the first game confirmed for the Xbox Series X is Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, which is a sequel to the acclaimed Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice. So they've really sort of flipped the name.
The title.
You know what I really can't. Another off topic. But I want to see because I have Sekiro Shadows Die Twice.
Yeah, I heard that was a really good one.
It's a beautiful. It's also really hard, but
it won Game of the Year.
It's supposed to be like a Dark Souls, basically.
Yeah, it is, but it's set in feudal Japan.
Yeah.
Man, it looks really good on the Xbox One, but I would really want to see what it would be like if they could get up to 129 FPS.
Oh yeah,
129.
100. That's what I said.
Yes.
129. Am I wrong?
It's usually 120.
I thought it was 129.
No, it's 120.
120
why would they
FPS.
say 129? It's 30, 60, 120.
Now, and I do find it interesting that one of the first games that they announced is Hellblade 2.
Mhm.
You know, because I did hear about Senua's Sacrifice when that first came out, and I did hear that it did pretty well, but it didn't really feel like something that would it didn't really feel big enough to be like the first game to be announced for a console, you know?
Well, it did well, and then Microsoft bought the studio that made it. I believe it's Ninja Theory or Team Ninja.
Yeah, Team Ninja.
Team Ninja, because Ninja Theory does the Dead or
Ninja
Alive
Gaiden.
games. No, that's a different.
Did they do Ninja Gaiden?
Did they do?
I think
Ninja
they did
Gaiden
Ninja
was a Team Ninja. That was a Team
Gaiden.
Ninja game.
Okay.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's
I
what
think
thought.
so.
not to be outdone, it was announced that Godfall, a third-person looter slasher, so Diablo, from Counterplay Games has been the first game confirmed for the PS5.
Now,
Whoa.
a third-person looter slasher. That catches my interest, because usually when I hear of looters, they're usually always looter shooters.
Yes, but of course, if you look to where looter shooters came from, they're essentially shooter versions of Diablo, which is a slasher.
Yeah.
So we've somehow come from Diablo to a play on Diablo to a play on the play on Diablo that just comes back to Diablo.
We have gone full circle. The cycle has completed
Two
itself.
pi.
We have entered the singularity.
We went from 0 to pi over 2 to 3 pi over 2 to 2 pi.
Now, do we have any information about Godfall, like the setting it might take place at?
It
or-
looked
3
like
pi
sort of a
over
medieval steampunk type setting. I didn't get to see a lot of
0,
it, but
pi over 2 pi 3
but
pi
what
over
this
2
means,
to 2
ladies and
pi.
gentlemen,
There it is.
is that the console
It's missing
wars
a pi.
have begun again.
No. No.
Yes.
No.
The first shots have been fired.
No.
Yes.
I have PTSD of the PC Master Race, okay?
Well, honestly, the PC Master Race isn't going to be so masterful because if some of the specs
Do not
for
assert the
Series-
T-pose. I will not press F.
I will.
if some of the specs
Pay the
for the
respect.
Series X and PS5 that have been leaked are true, they will essentially just be gaming PCs. That's what they're going to be.
What is?
If some of the specs that have been leaked for the Series X and the PS5.
This is gonna be crazy.
And they've
You know,
gone
because
full
with the
circle.
with the last console war, that was like the big advantage that PC had over regular gaming consoles.
I mean, all consoles. Literally. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
Come on.
they're weaker. They're weaker PCs.
they are weaker PCs.
But now they're just getting to be strong. They're growing strong.
They're big boy now.
They're growing
Oh, yeah.
fat with strength.
They're Lord. Like PC was Lord Chungus, but now we got big boys almost becoming Lord Chungus.
They're getting thick.
They're getting
Jummy
thick.
They're getting thick
Jummy
with
thick.
strength.
They're on their
2C
hero's
thick.
journey.
2C thick with all the graphic with the graphic card. It's like ooh.
Now, this next announcement, I love it because there's one thing that me and Brian love is just
Oh, God,
series where their continuity just goes all over the place.
Square Enix has announced Bravely Default 2, which, aside from all the jokes we're about to make, I am super excited for because I love the first Bravely
Oh
Default.
yeah, Bravely Default was a really good one.
Yes. The 5th game in the Bravely Default series, and the 3rd game in the main series. So it goes
I don't know
Bravely
what that
Default,
is.
Bravely Second and Lair, and then Bravely Default 2.
I don't know what that is.
It was a series
It was an old DS game.
Yeah, DS RPGs from Square Enix that finally convinced Square Enix, hey, maybe people like those games that we're
Kingdom
known for
Hearts
making.
365 over 2.
That was also a game.
That was a good one. It was nice to play the organization members from time to time.
You know what? Okay.
Okay. Anyway, also announced, and this is possibly the biggest shock,
Yeah, this is
was The Wolf Among Us 2. Not Season 2, but kind of, was announced. Published by Telltale, but as we discussed earlier, not really Telltale, and developed by Ad Hoc Games, a studio made of actual Telltale devs that went on to start their own studio.
This has I am just like blown away at this because after Telltale had closed, like all we really heard about was that the last season of The Walking Dead was going to get worked on, and there was still going to be like a Minecraft story mode thing being worked on.
Yeah, the Netflix version.
Yeah,
of it,
with
which-
Rob McElhenney, I believe, working on it.
No, that's the movie, and that's separate from
Oh,
it.
right.
He's not on the movie anymore.
Yeah. So like we kind of figured that we only had that, and like we weren't really expecting any more Telltale things to come out. So for this to just like get resurrected by kind of the same people is like
Yeah, and it's odd that this was a game originally made by Telltale with Telltale devs. Now it's being published by Telltale without any of the people from Telltale, so Skinsuit Telltale, but being developed by essentially the organs of Telltale.
The vitals.
It's like the bone. It's not the same bones, but it's
Yes.
everything else.
Yeah, it is pretty much the same bones. It's just the skin is off the body. Wow, I made that worse than it needed to be.
You sound like a serial killer.
I do.
The analogies we're giving for Telltale right now is just very dark.
Well, it was a pretty dark story. Lots of people got laid off with 15 minutes notice.
By the way, Brian, you're gone, buddy.
What is he doing?
Wait. I have that power.
Yeah.
And no one leaves ever.
Okay.
You guys
Neither of you are kicking me off this show. I will burn this place to the ground.
You see, and I'm glad to hear that because I don't want this show to ever end ever either.
No.
To infinity and beyond.
Watch out for episode 2675.
Episode Infinity, actually.
2675. Watch out.
Like our series list will be like a Mobius strip.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep going.
By that time, me and Brian, well, have officially been. Don't run from it, Brian. Don't
Live
run
on
from my
Twitch.
love. Live on Twitch streaming.
RSVP at your nearest dentist office.
Yeah, if you really want to get, to get a special seat at this one, find me. You can find me at. You can find. You can find.
Come on. We need to
Come
move
on.
on with the show.
Let's get it through.
You can find me at your nearest post office. So if you
Yes.
need, I'm not going to be. You don't mail it at the post office. I will be at the post office. So let me know. And
Okay.
so,
Anyways, in case you guys if you might have been tuning into our show in the past, you might have known that we mentioned that there is a Mortal Kombat movie in the works.
get over here.
Yep.
Everyone's been waiting to hear that.
And it has officially been announced that filming for the reboot has wrapped. Now it still has to go through post-production, but the film's release has also been moved up by 2 months to January 15th, 2021. I wrote 2019 there, but it's 2021.
I was a bit confused with that. It's like
I couldn't see it anyways. So
It was previously confirmed that the movie will be rated R and feature the franchise's famous fatalities for the first time.
get over here.
I'm actually really looking forward to this because, as corny as they were, I've always enjoyed the Mortal Kombat movies. They're guilty pleasure films, They've always been kind of ridiculous. Though the only downside is that usually when they do the reboots, they're nowhere near related to the source material. Like I remember watching the first Mortal Kombat and finding out that in the movie with Scorpion, instead of his signature kunai knife attached to a chain, it's just some snake-like thing that lives in his arm that has a mouth and everything that he shoots at people.
The thing is,
It was a thing. That was a thing. It looked like a giant worm.
Ew.
I tried to rent Mortal Kombat, couldn't find it, but I ended up finding Moral Wombat, which actually, a little bit more interesting.
Okay, now I need to pump the brakes because I kind of need...
Moral Wombat.
Moral Wombat.
What's the deal, though? What's the deal there?
It's a wombat that has high morals.
I can't tell if you're joking or if this is some weird, religious
Sounds like a
film.
Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Does it seem like I'm joking right now?
I can never
We
tell
can't
with you.
tell.
You're an agent of chaos.
It's a dynamic system of chaos. Dynamical system of chaos, and which I enjoy with you, Brian.
Anyway, I'm moving away from wombats. There's a bit of unfortunate but not really unexpected news.
Yeah, it's some sad news. Not too much to really throw you into depression, but enough to at least give you like a quick 10-15 minutes of, well, that's just a bummer.
Yeah.
I'll handle this one.
Okay.
It has been announced
handle you,
recently that Marvel TV has been shut down. Now, that's not to be confused with like the shows that are on Disney Plus and whatnot. We're talking about shows that are streaming on like ABC or FX or anything like that.
DBC, LMNOP, and
The
STV.
Hulu shows that are upcoming.
It has been announced that the studio will be shut down, and all its ongoing projects, such as Hulu Marvel shows, will be handled by Marvel Studios.
STI as well.
Now, this news, of course, isn't unexpected, as in recent months, Kevin Feige, who has been rumored to have been against Marvel TV shows tying into the film universe, has been promoted to be in charge of all Marvel productions. And in case if you were tuning in to any of our previous episodes, you might have heard that Marvel TV's head Jeff Loeb announced that he would be leaving shortly thereafter.
Therefore and thereafter.
I find it unfortunate that Marvel TV was shut down. I also kind of find it unfortunate that Kevin Feige was so against Marvel TV shows tying in with the Marvel universe. Because I remember, like people were always like kind of had their grievances with the fact that like shows like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. could not tie in to the Marvel universe, even though the show was about like one of the key elements of the Marvel universe.
Yeah, and it was. I'll admit there were problems with it in that. I'm not sure if this is because of studio interference, Kevin Feige not letting it happen, but Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. could never really make a mark on the universe. It was always being influenced by the films, but it could never do anything to influence the films.
Yes.
Though now that they're doing that with the Disney Plus shows, I'm guessing it was probably Kevin Feige saying, no, I don't want this to happen.
Yeah.
Which, again, none of this is confirmed. This is all just speculation.
Now, if these rumors are true, of course, then it would mean that any shows that are going on right now will be completed. Any shows that have already been announced and everything, they'll still have their runtime. However, any projects afterwards will not be. There's going to be no more projects afterwards. Probably not any new seasons, from what I can guess.
Yeah, really, most of the Marvel TV shows are done anyway. They handled the Netflix shows, which are over. They handled the Runaways and the
Inhumans kind of flopped.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is ending after its next season.
And you know what? All right, I'm cool with it
canceled.
because you know what? Those are boring.
And that is true. I hate to go off on a bit of a tangent here, but like I was actually talking to...
Go on a tangent. Let the tangent flow.
Like,
let yourself be a tangent. We can be tangent together and we'll create a secant line, all right? That's what we're going to do.
Well, anyways, I was talking to a friend earlier before we did our show, and I was thinking about Marvel TV compared to DC's TV universe.
I have a weird and strange sensation for... I have a hankering for... bread dipped in olive oil.
Okay.
Anyways, it's very unfortunate that Marvel's TV universe was nowhere near as successful as DC's TV universe, which is still going on right now on the CW. I find it ironic, of course, because most people's complaints with Marvel is that their cinematic universe is pretty good, while their TV universe is sorely lacking in any connection to the MCU. While with the CW, when it comes to DC, their movie universe, there's so much to work on, and so many holes and whatnot. But their TV universe is so spot on, so interwoven into each other. I just can't help but think of Marvel TV compared to DC TV and wondering if this might have been some kind of a contributing factor to Marvel TV being shut down.
Possibly.
Yes. Money.
Yeah.
Money.
It's just, I find it a little odd, It's like, why do you think it is that Marvel wasn't able to pull off a TV universe while DC was able to pull off a TV universe?
I think it's honestly, in the end, Marvel was less invested in pulling off a TV universe. Higher-ups at Marvel didn't really want there to be this, big TV universe. They were more focused on the movies, because the movies were making them, again, billions of dollars.
Fair enough. Anyways, let's get into our next little bit of news. Now, earlier this week, in an interview with Balance, famous actor Jack Black, most recently known for his latest role in the new Jumanji film, had mentioned that he liked the idea of an early retirement. Now, due to this, word soon spread that Jack Black was planning on retiring from acting, with Jumanji 2 possibly being his last film. However, in a recent paparazzi video obtained by Entertainment Tonight on Thursday, Mr. Black seems to be going back on his statement, saying, quote, "I'm not retiring, I'm not going anywhere." Now, I kind of wanted to point that out. Anyways, I wanted to point it out because there's probably a lot of people out there right now who might not know that Jack Black went back on his word for that. Most people right now are still thinking that Jack Black is going to be retiring, and everyone's kind of having a total... You know what? I actually have to take it back. I was going to say that people are starting to have a total panic attack, but strangely enough, the idea of Jack Black retiring seems to be one of the few moments where everyone just kind of collectively goes, that seems fine with me.
That's fine with me. I don't mind if he retires.
And, the guy had a pretty decent film career.
It made me laugh.
Lots of great stuff.
Yeah.
And he is kind of trying to drift off to other ventures and whatnot. He's spending more time as just a parent. He has a YouTube channel going on right now.
Well, and he said that he was trying to focus more, or have a little bit more time with Tenacious D as well.
Yeah, he also wanted to focus more time on his band Tenacious D.
Tenacious D. Yeah, Tenacious D. And Yeah, I'm cool with that. I enjoy Tenacious D's work, so you know.
Yeah. I'm just glad to hear that, he's not necessarily retiring just yet. I mean, I'm fine.
But he's not done with the entertainment business.
Yeah, I'm fine with him, being open to the idea, because at the end of the day, there's always comes a point in time where every actor and actress just kind of says, I think I'm close to being done with this and everything, But yeah, I kind of wanted to just, set the record straight, in case anybody out there is, thinking that it's still concrete. It's not concrete. It's just he was thinking about it, but he didn't, set anything in stone.
Mm-hmm.
On to the next little bit of news that I have here. Now, if you're an avid cinephile like we are, you might know that back in 2017, Lionsgate tried to make a reboot of the popular TV franchise Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Go Power Rangers! It's morphin' time. It's morphing time. It's morphin'
Now,
Stop it.
of course, the 2017 version of Power Rangers had flopped. They, instead of being catered more towards a family audience, they wanted it to be more dark, edgy, and cater more towards young adults.
Why?
Money.
Though apparently that didn't work out.
That didn't work out. No, on $100 million budget, they only ended up making I want to say $135, $185 worldwide.
Because it was an hour and a half commercial for Krispy Kreme.
Yes,
yeah.
It should also be noted for people that don't know that those numbers, like $100 million budget, they usually never include the marketing budget.
No, that's
which,
true.
Pays for all those ads and billboards and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So it's typically that can add another $80-100 million on top of the normal budget.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, it's recently been announced that a Power Rangers reboot is in the works, but this time it's being handled by Paramount. Because in 2018, Hasbro recently bought the rights of Power Rangers from
Saban.
From Saban Entertainment. So now Hasbro has the rights to it, and they're getting this done through their film company, but also partnering up with Paramount Pictures to get it done.
It's a complicated web of Hollywood nonsense.
It really is, yeah. Now, this version of the franchise, which is being handled by Jonathan Entwistle, known for his Netflix series The End of the Effing World, is rumored to go back to its roots as a colorful kids show. Supposedly, this version will involve time travel, reminiscent of Back to the Future, as our protagonists must find a way out of the 1990s and back to their time. Patrick Burleigh, who recently wrote the script for Peter Rabbit 2, is penning the script for this movie.
So Parker and I earlier were talking about, since this decade was so focused on 80s nostalgia, maybe next decade will be 90s nostalgia. We are seeing the first hints of it. This won't be coming out till the 2020s, and it's going to have them being sent back to the 90s. 90s nostalgia is coming, Parker.
And it's kind of... Now, I find a glut...
Ripped jeans and plaid button-ups. Grunge music. I mean, I like that.
Nirvana?
Oh, God. It brings me back to high school, that's why. No,
you were in high school in the 2010s.
Yeah.
Exactly. And everybody was wearing Kurt Cobain t-shirts.
Oh my god, they were. Kurt Cobain clothes and Slipknot jackets.
Yes.
Any
I don't want to relive that. Huh?
Any Nine Inch Nails?
No,
Yes.
I didn't see Nine Inch Nails.
Nine Inch Nails, My Chemical Romance, Hollywood Undead, you name it.
Okay, Hollywood Undead and My Chemical Romance are actually from, the 2000s, 2010s.
I know.
Oh, Linkin Park.
Yes.
I love
Linkin Park, Ozzy Osbourne also.
It was that one song on Numb, right?
Yep.
It was that was the only song that anybody.
I've become so numb.
Well, that they only knew that song and also Crawling in My Skin.
Yeah, and that
Crawling in my skin.
Now, enough
These
with
wounds, they will not heal.
Please just stop.
Now to take a moment to not bash on our high school friends. I do admit that it is a very good decision to bring Power Rangers back to a more family roots. Words are difficult today. Because I was basically...
Words don't flow, and that's what you get on the phone booth. Words are not flowing.
Oh, God.
It's fine.
He's putting all this weight on me.
Which, is a good move, because Power Rangers at the end of the day, as nostalgic as it is for people, it's a kid's show. Every interpretation...
25 cents
Keep moving. He'll get into the.
I need a box of Tree Fitty before I give you
25
25 cents.
to see Paradise.
But like now, I also find it awesome that they are mentioning the 1990s, as that was around the time that Power Rangers was in its prime. You know, that was like one of the big shows for kids to watch around that time was Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
The mightiest of the Morphins of the Morphins of the mightiest.
Like I remember when when the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie first came out. Oh, dude.
I want to see a Power Rangers movie directed by Zack Snyder.
No.
Zack Snyder, take the reins on the Power Rangers movie.
No.
You know he couldn't bench the Megazord.
Yeah, I mean, that's the rule.
We
We
have.
can't talk about that now.
We'll talk about it tomorrow.
No comment. Stay tuned.
We'll talk about it tomorrow.
We have a new.
On to the next bit. Keep it moving. Never stop.
On to the
Never
next
stop.
flow.
They can't catch
Flow.
me.
Row in the flow. Here we go. Let's
Warner
go.
Bros.
Let's
Warner
do the
Bros.
show.
recently this week has issued a couple of release dates. Now, the Untitled Matrix movie got a release date for May 21st, 2021, while the Flash movie got another release date of July 1st, 2022.
This is like its fifth release date. I think
Yeah.
it has as many release dates as it's had directors.
At this
Ayo.
point in time, it's hard for us to take it seriously because even when Ezra Miller himself said he'd be down to direct the movie, it just keeps getting put into like into
Wait,
just
the
a production
Wachowskis are
void.
not on this one?
No, that's the Matrix.
Oh, I thought.
The casters on the Matrix were on the Flash.
I'm talking about the Flash movie because the Flash movie has been like shuffling through directors constantly.
Okay,
And at one
okay.
point in time, the actor
But-
himself tried to do the Flash.
Time
But
out, Green Bay. But the Wachowskis are doing. Wachowski's sisters. Now,
Yes.
right?
I believe so,
The
yes.
Wachowski sisters are doing the Matrix movie, right?
I think
Yes.
only one of them is confirmed right now.
Okay.
I think it's Lana Wachowski that's
Okay.
confirmed.
speaking now, before I get to that, now I also do want to point out that they also recently undated the live-action adaptation of the manga Akira. Yeah. After Taika Waititi had to put it on hold after signing up to do a fourth Thor movie.
Yeah, man.
Akira previously had the time slot that the new Matrix movie now has. Now, in an ironic twist, it would seem that the upcoming Matrix movie will be competing with John Wick Chapter 4, both movies with Hollywood god Keanu Reeves as the main character.
Oh yeah, you know I really want to see that, but Taika Waititi, man, I love him. He's my favorite.
Great guy.
Enough. Stop trying to do a Kiwi accent. Anyway, you know that there are going to be theaters that are going to be selling a Keanu Reeves double feature.
Oh, you know, that's like a thing. That is a thing right there, you know.
I think that Taika Waititi has a personal relationship with his Hema.
You know, because at this point in time, because a lot of people have joked that right now we're in this era called the Keanu Sans,
It's
where it seems like Keanu Reeves is like in everything right
I don't
now.
get why people aren't calling it the Renaissance. At least that starts with an R.
don't
don't-
make it more complicated.
Neither of them are good, but one at least makes more sense.
Keanu Reeves is a national treasure,
Yes.
Yeah.
right next to Paul Rudd,
Yes.
right up there.
Yes.
I mean, like obviously Keanu Reeves up here. and
So,
then
like,
Paul Rudd.
you know, I gotta ask, which one would you watch first?
I think I'd have John Wick and then Matrix, because we could go from the realism of John Wick up and it like evolve into the nonsense of Matrix.
No, okay, so maybe it's because I grew up on The Matrix, but I'm probably going to see The Matrix first and then go. I mean, I'm seeing them both one day at the same time. That's what's going to happen.
Of course.
But I think I'm going to see The Matrix first because I grew up on The Matrix and just the fun of that.
It's only natural.
And then and then that was the first series I grew up. Then I watched the next series that I grew up with, which is John Wick.
Did you ever hear that fan theory that, like, John Wick is like what would have happened if Neo decided to take the other pill?
I mean, there's always a theory for anything, and I'm not going to even indulge in that. But
I would expect you of all people to want to indulge in something crazy like that.
I mean, yeah, but no.
Well, it's a fun theory. I like thinking about it. It's a fun little one. Anyways, another movie got a release date this week, Shazam 2.
Shazam 2.
Yes.
Yes.
Which is slated for April 1st, 2022.
And we got the Superman that's not Henry Cavill.
How fitting for it to come out on April Fool's Day.
Ha ha ha. And so,
What if? What if this is a long plan? What if the April Fool's joke is that it isn't Shazam 2? What if it's the Snyder Cut?
he just had a full body aneurysm.
Is that what you were really going to say, Parker?
I was going to say.
You're going to have to carry on.
Okay,
You're gonna have to carry on.
carry on, my wayward son. So let's go into trailer talk.
Carry on my wayward son.
The first trailer I have is for Wonder Woman 1984, which has a U.S. release date of June 5th, 2020. Starring...
I do have to point out real quick that for both of these trailers so far, we don't have a specific plot set for either one just yet.
Yes. So this is starring Gal Gadot, Chris Pine, and Pedro Pascal, directed by Patty Jenkins.
Whoa! Hang on now. You can't just put Chris Pine in there. That's not right.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it
Because
is.
this is in 1984, and despite the fact that Steve Trevor, played by Chris Pine, died in 1916 in the first movie,
He somehow makes it back.
yes, and it seems to be some sort of plot by Pedro Pascal's character
Okay.
Maxwell Lord, who, if you read the comics,
dude.
he was a super genius who had a badly retconned story to make him evil, despite it making no sense. Anyway, moving past that. From what we got from the trailers is it seems that Maxwell Lord did something to bring Steve Trevor back in order to sort of bribe Diana not to mess with his evil plan that seems to involve a satellite dish and blowing up Washington because he's a comic book villain.
Now, one thing that I love about this trailer is that if you've ever seen the old school TV show for Wonder Woman, this trailer really gives you those kind of vibes.
It's got a very neon 80s vibe.
How original.
We even get to see her do more tricks with her lasso and everything. She even does.
Rides lightning with it.
She's able to launch herself in the air with her lasso like Thor does with his hammer.
Yeah, and she swings from lightning bolts.
She can swing
that's
on
pretty
lightning.
cool,
Yes.
Yeah. All right. I'll watch that.
Like, they better have her do something like that when Shazam joins the Justice League.
Swinging from, I gotta say that's pretty cool. But I'm sorry, that was pretty cool.
That is.
I was going like, that's the original, but then I heard the swinging from lightning bolts, and I'm like, what?
Oh yeah, the action scenes look.
Okay.
The action scenes look very fun in this
good.
one. Anyways, our other trailer is for Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Ghostbusters is what the thing is called.
Now, the U.S. release date is July 10th, 2020, starring Paul Rudd, Carrie Coon, McKenna Grace, and many, many others. It should also be noted that some of the original casts from the classic Ghostbusters movie will also be making appearances as well in this one.
I think, if I remember, Bill Murray?
Yes, Bill Murray,
Dan Aykroyd.
and who played Xenomorph? Ernie Hudson?
Yeah.
Ernie Hudson.
Yes,
as
yeah.
well as Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah.
Come back.
Yes.
So when
original
there's
casting.
something strange in your neighborhood, you better call
He-Man!
He-Man.
No, you should actually call someone. That's a very important issue. If you feel anything that's involving that, you should probably call someone.
Now, so far, now I also want to point out this is directed by Jason Reitman.
The son of original director Ivan Reitman, who directed the first two Ghostbuster movies.
Now, so far, we don't have a full-on plot just yet.
But there have been like mini plot synopses released across the internet, and I have managed to piece it together.
Now, please enlighten us.
So, Egon Spengler, who was played by the late Harold Ramis, he
Rest in
had
peace.
a kid, and then that kid had kids, so, his grandsons. It turns out that after the events of Ghostbusters 2, pretty much all ghost activity stopped. So the Ghostbusters kind of went out of business because they had a very niche, business plan.
They were already
Ghostbusters.
kind of losing business around Ghostbusters 2 at the beginning anyways.
However, Egon Spengler didn't give up, so he moved out to the middle of nowhere where there were reported ghost sightings in order to investigate them, and he discovered something out there, and he was trying to, record notes for his teammates, but then he died through, I don't know if it was, mysterious circumstances or if he just died because he was old.
But we found his collections of mold, spores, and funguses.
Yes, but after he died, he left the house to his daughter, who is estranged from him, and now his grandsons have discovered his old ghost-busting equipment, including the Ecto-1 and the giant laser packs.
Yes. We also found out that the Ecto-1 has like a side gunner seat in it and everything that just shoots someone out to the side with one of the... Oh, man.
Dope.
Yeah.
Yes. So we didn't actually get to see any of the returning cast members in this.
Though when we heard someone talking in the background, it sounded very close to like Bill Murray's voice from what I could tell. But yeah, I mean, so far the whole thing seems interesting.
Fun fact about Bill Murray. he would go around in New York and he would go up into people's when they're in McDonald's and steal one of their fries.
Mm-hmm.
And when people ask, like, you stole my fry, I go ahead, tell the people. No one will believe you.
Mm-hmm.
That is legendary Bill Murray.
You know.
To the point at which I don't really believe the stories. I mean, it could easily be faked.
But it sounds so much like something Bill Murray would do, though.
That's it. Like,
It
that's
really
so
does.
good.
Mm-hmm.
Halo
Anyway.
7 coming out next fall. So
Joshua Hacker he mentioned something. I believe he's referring to the side seat in the Ecto 1. He said it was made canon with the Ghostbusters cartoon, The Real Ghostbusters.
yes.
Many of us forget that there has been numerous cartoon adaptations of the Ghostbusters.
Mhm.
Fun fact. So check this out. So Bill Murray plays Peter Venkman. Right?
Yeah.
But the voice actor who portrayed him was also played his voice actor for Garfield.
Mm-hmm.
And in the real live version of Garfield,
Played by Bill Murray.
played by Bill Murray.
Yes.
Little fun factoids.
That is a very fun fact. I like that. Now,
Fun fact from the Rat Pack.
I like this trailer. It definitely is giving off the hints that the torch is for sure going to be passed.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd is in there too, and so far I like his character's performance so far. He seems to be one of the few people who actually remembers the Ghostbusters. So it seems like in this movie the Ghostbusters are going to be forgotten by a large portion of society.
You know what I wish? I wish Michael Keaton was in that movie. That'd be great.
Why is that?
I just like Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
He's funny.
Do you think he'd be okay in a Ghostbusters movie? He seems like he'd be like an antagonist more than a protagonist.
Well, yeah, he does have kind of a mean face, though apparently he's a very nice guy.
He's a very nice guy.
That's
and
nothing against Michael Keaton.
Nothing
He
against
has
Michael Keaton, of course. I don't mean to typecast the guy.
No, it's just funny. Like, he's like, to me, he's really funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
he was funny in the other guys. That was hilarious with Michael, Captain Gene.
Mhm.
I love that. He's a funny guy. He was on Norm Macdonald's show. Norm Macdonald has a show on Netflix, and man, he just kept making me laugh. Yeah, so he's a pretty funny, nice guy.
That's good. Well, now that's all we have for trailer talk. I mean, those were the two main trailers that we really wanted to talk about. However, we are not done quite yet with our show, for we'd like to talk about some of the films that are releasing this week.
Mm-hmm.
Brian, take it away.
First
Right.
up is Jumanji, The Next Level, which is the sequel to 2017's Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. This one, they get trapped inside the video game Jumanji again, except this time Dwayne Johnson is pretending to be Danny DeVito.
Well,
Kevin
to
Hart
be
is playing Danny Glover.
Yeah.
Well, to be more specific, one of the characters from the previous Jumanji game, after they had all destroyed the cartridge that Jumanji came on, he tried fixing it and somehow got himself sucked into Jumanji, and his friends, along with two elders, I believe they're like grandparents and whatnot, jumped into the game as well, and they find themselves in a broken version of Jumanji, trying to find their friend and get out, while also starting to discover more of the secrets behind the game Jumanji itself and its origins. But at the end of the day, it looks fun.
Yeah.
It's Dwayne Johnson pretending to be Danny DeVito.
And Danny DeVito is that's a person I hold near and dear to my heart.
I think everyone should hold Danny DeVito near and dear to their heart.
The Rotten Tomatoes score from critics is 67%, while audiences are giving it an 86%.
Not a bad score.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Next up is Richard Jewell, the real-life story of Richard Jewell, a security guard who helped prevent a bombing at the '96 Olympics in Atlanta, who was then falsely accused of setting the entire thing up. I guess spoiler alert for...
Well, I mean, it's based on true events. I mean, when it comes to based on true events stuff, spoilers are just...
Yeah, he didn't do it.
Spoilers are in the history books.
Yeah, so the Rotten Tomatoes score is 74%, audiences 96%.
Now,
And then can I talk about this last one, please?
sure thing, but before we get to it, I would like to point out that for Richard Jewell, the score seems to be pretty good, considering that usually when it comes to true story films, it's either the critic score or the audience score that's low.
Yeah.
And in this instance, they're both at a decent level.
I watched Sully. All right.
With Tom Hanks.
Yeah. It was all right. I mean,
Because that's usually the case with true story films. They're all right.
well, it's because when I saw Sully, like the trailers for Sully, they were setting up to be like, do you ever hear of that movie with Denzel Washington, Flight?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought they were setting up to be like, oh, there might have been something, going on, with Sully, like how Flight was, like how he was, dope. He was doped up when he was flying. There was something going on, like a scandal with Sully that made him, do it. But in the end, you just find out, like, how it really was is that the FAA was trying to come up with some reason that Sully was wrong, and obviously Sully wasn't wrong. But I was thinking there's something there maybe, but there's not. So I was kind of let down by the marketing. I was like, oh, maybe this is different take on it, different spin. But it was like, what we all knew. Sully flew it, had an engine meltdown, had an engine malfunction, had to land in the Hudson River, call it good. I was like, oh, well, I know that story. I lived up to that. Anyway, anywho, on the Black Christmas.
Yep.
Black Christmas, a remake of the 1974 Christmas horror movie.
No, it definitely is a remake, as it is slightly different than the usual Black Christmas story.
If you want to be technicality about this, it's a remake of a remake.
Yes, there was a remake of Black Christmas in 2006,
yes.
which apparently
one of the few movies that I know of with Lacey Chabert in it, the original voice of Meg.
Huh.
That was in the 2006 version.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so it's a remake of a remake. So the first movie that came out was it was a 1974 Christmas horror movie. This film centers on a sorority house that is menaced by a masked killer. Oh, how original.
Well, you see, they did change it up a little bit in this movie. While in the first two Black Christmases, it was this legend of that one killer dude who just... I'm not going to spoil too much, just at the end of the day, he had a very, very bad Christmas, and ever since then, he just came back one day, years later, to just kill everybody in the sorority. In this version, it seems instead of one killer, it's an entire frat of just people who are, like, ritualistically killing people, which they spoiled in the trailer of this movie.
Which is not surprising.
And at one point in time from the trailer, it seems like it goes from horror to just the sorority girls fighting back against the fraternity, So it is definitely a huge change to the plot than the original.
Yeah, but the same thing's all the same.
All I remember is that the 2006 version of Black Christmas had a real fixation on people's eyeballs for some reason.
Mm-hmm. Well, the problem is that, it's a original with a spin, but it's not original enough. So... in that case, the RT score?
Rotten Tomatoes score.
Gotcha. Rotten Tomatoes score. Critics find this to be at 45% of their liking, and audience at a measly 29%.
That is really unfortunate, dude.
And the critic consensus on Rotten Tomatoes was, this is better than the 2006 version. Doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah. I mean, it's like above it, but not like above it. It's like a little above it.
It's a little above it.
I kind of want to look up the 2006 version and then see the Rotten Tomatoes score to compare it.
Of course, 2006 was, I think, before Rotten Tomatoes was a thing. So
it still has it be. The 2006 Black Christmas right now is sitting at a Rotten Tomato score of 15%.
Wow.
So
lovely.
So still has it beat.
Mm-hmm.
How does it beat by that much?
I kind of wonder, though, if they do have, like, the glass unicorn head.
But it's like Vin Diesel said in Fast and the Furious, it doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile, a win is a win. In that case...
Speaking of Fast and the Furious, that was another thing that was announced at the Game Awards. We got the first trailer for Fast and Furious Crossroads, a video game spin-off that's going to have a bunch of the original stars like Vin Diesel and Michelle Rodriguez.
Believe it or not, it is not the first Fast and Furious video game.
No, it's not.
I believe it.
No, it's not. But
I think they're touting this one as like being an actual, tie-in with the movies.
Yeah, but the problem with the Fast and Furious games is that they try so hard to not be Need for Speed, but at the end of the day, Fast and Furious was like the movie version of Need for Speed when it first started.
At least it looks like the gameplay isn't focused on racing. It's focused on, like, you're going to be pulling bank heists and all this nonsense.
I don't mind that.
Mm-hmm. I don't really mind that either, but, like, I remember...
But if I wanted a heist game, I'd play Payday 2.
Exactly. I mean, with the Fast and Furious movies, while they did start off with heists at the very beginning and whatnot, even their heists involved cars. Like in the first Fast and Furious, they would hijack parts trucks and take all the parts and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, my muscles sometimes don't work as well as they probably should.
That's concerning.
But I am excited, though, for this Fast and Furious game when it does come out, because if the person who works on the Fast and Furious movies is behind it, then we can expect huge levels of ridiculous car stunts. Because, after all, space is never out of the question.
I almost went on a tangent about space, and then I realized what you said, which was Fast and Furious in space.
The director has said that is not out of the question.
Now, I'm no mathematician, but
okay.
The thing is space plus Fast and Furious equals no.
Of course, that chase from the end of what it was, Fast and Furious 6 with the plane. Scientists said that it had to be like 100-mile long runway.
Now, I don't know why, but like when they do a Fast and Furious movie and space is involved, and I don't know why. This is just straight out the ballpark, but like I'm betting that Elon Musk will have a cameo.
Probably.
Yes.
He'll have like the space car that they drive in.
I mean, he's already shot a car into space.
That's not true. He didn't do that.
He didn't do that?
No, he didn't do that. That's actually fake.
Oh.
It's a fake show. That's a fake picture.
Oh. It still seems like something Elon Musk would do, though.
It does. He's an insane.
He's the guy who has that power.
Note this. I corrected Brian for the first time. Let's have a party about that. I corrected him for the first time.
No more parties this week.
Yeah.
I'm okay. But I corrected him for the
I'm
first
still
time.
recuperating.
Can we mark this day, December and the day of our Lord, December 12th, in the year 2019. I almost said 16. 2019. I corrected Brian for the first time.
Anyways.
That's about it for our show, except for the next 5 minutes.
Because we do have 5 minutes to kill.
Because we need to budget in time for your nonsense.
Always. So we have 5 minutes. Imagine this is like no comment part 1.5.
Now, since we're doing and talking about virtually anything, I do kind of want to give a movie recommendation to anybody out there, because there is a certain movie that I feel like not enough people have watched.
What is it?
Atomic Blonde.
Oh.
Wait, part 1.5, that would mean it come after tomorrow's episode.
Exactly. So,
don't exactly me with your nonsense.
I reject your reality and substitute my own. So, we have ourselves mood. Mood is an important thing, but it's not as important as the mode. The mode is a very important thing. Special effects, yay or nay?
Yay, I guess.
I prefer the practical effects.
So Gears of War 5, that's coming out.
It already came out.
It already came out, and it was
months ago.
The thing is, I used to be a really big Gears of War fan.
Mm-hmm.
I used to really I played for Gears of War 1, 2, and 3, and you know what? I was like, after I played Gears of War 3, I was like, that's good. They made it had a good ending. I was good with it. All the conflicts have been resolved. Great. We can move on.
Oh, that's another game that's coming out. Gears Tactics. We got a trailer for that.
Oh, remember Gears Pop?
What?
Yes,
the Gears of War game is going to be where everybody's a Pop vinyl figurine.
Please,
yes,
stop.
That already came out.
Epic Games, stop.
At least Gears Tactics is an official game. It's just XCOM style.
Stop.
I have to admit that I never really played the Gears of War games. Like, I've tried giving Gears of War 3 a shot, but I guess it's like one of those games that you really have to start off from the beginning. Like, I jumped into it, and it's like the environment, I didn't really fully understand everything that was going on.
Everything had gone to heck in a handbasket at that point. When you start up Gears of War 3, everything has kind of gone to heck. Mm-hmm. So now it's like, basically imagine if you started watching the Terminator movies at Terminator Salvation.
Ah, okay.
That's what you...
Or the Halo games at Halo 3.
Which I did.
That was me too.
Game.
Me too. My first one was Halo 3.
I'll never forget.
I remember playing multiplayer with my cousin AJ while we were driving on the Halos. It was about to explode and everything.
The thing is, my first game I ever got, so I got my Xbox for my birthday when I was 10. I was and my first game that I got with it, I don't know why I give this to a 10-year-old, Halo 3, along with Lost Planet.
Lost Planet. What was Lost Planet?
I don't even remember.
I remember a trailer for Lost Planet 3. It was like you were on an ice planet in a mech and you had to fight aliens.
That's basically it. That's basically the story of it.
Okay.
And I remember I was like, wow, this is such a good game. And I was like, I was playing through. I was like, this is a really good game. I'm kind of lost. Like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm just like, I'm like the guy who's like, we gotta kill all the Covenant. I'm like, yes. Mm-hmm. Why?
That's kind of how I was. Whenever I played shooters, I wasn't really like the guy to follow the continuity. It's like, because usually I'm not I was never really able to afford games to buy them in sequence. Yeah. So usually when I got a game, if it was at some random point in time in the timeline, it's just I kind of had to deal with it and whatnot. So I usually avoided games like Halo and whatnot. That's kind of why I stuck more towards Call of Duty, because you can really like jump into any one, you know, and you don't really have to have seen the previous ones. I mean, with Modern Warfare, it was kind of like that, but you could also get away with not having played the previous ones. You know.
Yes, I mean, considering that most of them were just kind of blockbuster Hollywood.
Each one was just pick a war and who you want to be at.
And then that's when I have to bring you to the fact that me and Brian, as loving as we are, getting married.
No, you can't promote that twice.
I will always promote it.
I gave you the public airtime for that.
Send me a Snapchat on AOL. So that's what.
He will forward it to me on CompuServe, and I'll jot it down for RSVPs.
Why don't you just go ahead and I'll fax you the information. That'll be easier. And now here we have what is called Prime Time. Prime Time is what we have. Prime Amazon.
Actually, I'm afraid that we have reached the end of today's episode. We've got about 5 minutes in, so I'm afraid I do have to wrap things up here.
We have to put a cap on you.
Do we?
Yes.
Do we have
Parker,
to?
remember, dude, save it for no comments.
No comment coming.
No comments tomorrow. Same time, 1 to 2.
Same time. You're gonna love it. So here we go. Prime Time. Getting ready for it.
Now, be sure to tune in every Saturday and Sunday from 1 to 2 here on TVOSJ, the voice of San Joaquin, and soon to be KBCC 89.5 FM over Tracy, California, where we talk about all things pop culture related. Anything from movies to video games to TV shows to comic books, you name it, and we will do our very best to cover it. Now, with that being said, I'm Ed Heitman. Joining me in the studio, as always, are my good friends and co-hosts Brian Rodriguez and Parker Spurlin.
Bye.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen,
Oh my God.
please have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful afternoon, and always remember